The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the depot, yes, these are the sports podcasts, live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyze it with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah. No need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five, get it. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five, get it. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat speak. I got what you need.
I gave you an episode.
We got what y'all need. Tyrone's gonna tell you what he wants on the sidelines, talking to other people. But nonetheless, it's your boy the man that did an H5. You're my favorite fat guy from Deepest Darkest Africa. I'm gonna cut my shit short because I just seen some CFL shit that we might have to start talking some CFL one day because the rules and shit within this game, I'm gonna pull it up after I mention hit the box next to Tyrone's head because he loves the box. Hooksrub.com. Use the code starting5 to get 20% off your order. J1 Con is next week, people. Y'all missed your opportunity to get free tickets from us, but we still gonna be there. Come kick it with us. We're having the Wrestle Talk panel discussion, which that's another whole thing within me where all I'm gonna just say is this probably should have been hip hop related this year because I don't think the community deserves this. But somebody who's in the community with me,
it's getting frustrating because it's like I think that they deserve it because we kind of need it, but at the same time they don't want to participate in it, so to speak. So they just want us to give it to them. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't want to be a part, like I said, if you don't want to be a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem, you know. But I still think it's got to get out there, and I still think then like when we put out stuff like even when we do podcast episodes or whatever, the stuff gets out there. Even if nobody's watching, even if nobody comes to J1 Con, when we do it, it's gonna get out there. It's gonna get back. We're gonna comment on it. There's gonna be videos about it. People still gonna see it. So the message still gonna get out there. We can't not give out the message just because people ain't acting like they want to receive it. So I'm still in on it. You know what I mean? But I'm here. I got my hooks box, and I just wanna hear who this special guest is down here. You know. So
after the homie, the birthday boy from last week, who still looks smack. Actually, nah, you look real well refreshed and rested, good brother.
I am, man. You know, a week of not doing shit will do that. Yes. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was gonna bring it up. I was gonna bring it up on backstage. But I got kind of late. Yo, I don't want to sound crass. I don't want to sound. Man, I'm just gonna say it, man. There's a place for lack of a better word, undocumented workers, man. We need them. We need them in today's society. The reason why I say that, as the old followers and people watching may know, my fan is still fucked up. If y'all could see it.
Oh, that's a throwback. My bad. That's a throwback.
So along with the fan, my ceiling, I have popcorn ceiling. So I went ahead. I was like, yo, you know what? I'm off this week. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the ceiling. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape it off. Yo, I probably got about 10 minutes into the shit. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about the Home Depot around you guys' way, but the Home Depot around my way, it's nothing but migrants out there now. It's nothing but migrants out there now. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can scrape up, $100, $150, and
$50. I was gonna say $50 a head and a plate of Chinese food after. Not to sound ignorant, but
a couple Coronas.
not to sound ignorant, but I heard that used to be the going rate. I've never used it, but he's foul as fuck. But who's not foul as fuck? I had to bring one of the dope homies from the land of TikTok who we got to following each other. Very good brother, very person that I've done many lives with. So for in our short history of knowing each other through TikTok. But as we always do, gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ori. I'm from Hoop Social. Make sure you follow Hoop Social on TikTok. We're just a giant kind of basketball network. I'm a part owner of that, and we have a lot of material under our umbrella. And I'm just really happy that you had me on here. I like a lot of the stuff that you do, and I know you like a lot of the stuff that I do. So I certainly appreciate the reciprocal TikTok love.
Word. And I wanted to try to get some other because I had to, as promised, we got to just dive into the start of the basketball season. Last week's show was kind of already planned to where we fucked up and didn't get the preview in that we normally do. I tried to reach out to some other basketball minds because my week was so busy, Ori. Like I thought way too late to reach out to Mac, who just got back on TikTok in a way.
Oh, yes.
Another one, like two people that like I can toe to toe run with each other when it comes to basketball knowledge and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And the love for the sport. And they would very much well fit in with our brains with the love of the sports that we already carry, but they are hardcore basketball people. We're as you can see, I mix it up a little bit, more football than basketball, but sometimes any given year it can flip flop. This brother's a hardcore basketball guy, but because I just mentioned football and I just kind of interrupted myself on my intro, I gotta show y'all this shit because I pulled it up. The fucking CFL, like I said, man, there's just something about the CFL. First off, I like watching the game, but when you see weird shit like this,
Fajardo,
an
deep drop
onside
against a four-man rush, gets it out underneath. It'll be the dribble kick, and they tried it again at the line of scrimmage. They did it with Jeshurun Antwi in Ottawa, and it was successful.
All right, there's the line of scrimmage. What has to happen? He has to catch it, and then once he makes sure he has to throw it past the line of scrimmage. He has to kick it past the line of scrimmage and then recover it. But the ball has to go past the line of scrimmage. You call this on second and extra because the odds of converting on second and extra greater than 10 are very low. So this is a good call. You kick it forward.
Did that play leave y'all like, what the fuck?
Was it kind of like he fumbled, like he was like he fumbled the ball, purposely fumbled the ball or some shit like that?
That's what it seems like, but it was technically a punt.
Yeah, so I saw somebody do this before. This is like the second occurrence now. It's like this like hole in the rules that if you do it that way, you get a first down or some mess like that.
And you gotta remember they only played 3 downs.
Right.
So it's literally a 3 and out every time instead of 4 and out. But they played 3 downs. Go ahead, Tyrone.
From my understanding of it, when I didn't see it when you thought it, but I thought it before. And from my understanding of it, a punt represents a change of possession. So in a change of possession, you automatically start with first down. So if you do that punt thing and you recover it, it's technically a change of possession, so it doesn't matter you're down in distance. It's a punt. It changes possession, and so it's just like this in
Oh,
the NFL. It's like they muff a punt and you recover it, and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
start
yeah.
over first down. It's something like that.
You know, I never, but I didn't put it in that perspective. I didn't put it in that perspective. It just looked crazy though. It just looked crazy. But I mean, the CFL does a number of shit that looks crazy, like the fucking wide receivers getting running starts right before the ball is snapped and shit like that. And I don't know. I like it.
But the NFL couldn't do nothing like that because that guy over there, every punt, that guy would get murdered. They would have a guy there waiting to murder him.
Right. I was waiting.
Cheat code, like a loophole in the rules.
I was waiting for somebody to say that the athletes in the NFL, that I mean, it probably would not be allowed. You know what I'm saying? You try to do that, you get killed, like you said, like Tyrone said.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Excuse me for dying on camera. Shit.
Oh.
But yeah, before we just really briefly breeze through our games of the week, do we got any questions of the week? Or are we really eager to just get to this NBA talk?
Well, if I could bring up something, and it's kind of on the NBA, I want to know, what do you guys think about your boy Dwight Howard right now?
All right, we'll hold that thought. We'll hold that thought. We will save that thought for the end of the show. We'll get to the bullshit at the end of the show, but there's your little teaser for anybody. Why? Because you went all the way there. Yeah. I mean, all the way there.
Hey, you know. Yeah. Let's wait to the end of the show. We don't want to get canceled. We don't want to get canceled, man.
We want to get through the good shit first. But let's get it out of the way real quick. The NFL games of the week, real quick. Last week, the show split itself. TJ and Tyrone picked the Dolphins. My Eagles won 31-17. Big O picked correctly. And then Tyrone was the only person to pick the Vikings to beat San Francisco 49ers. 22-17.
You're listening to you, Tyrone. Lost $10.
Oh shit! This week, my Eagles are right now losing to the Commanders, but that's not the game of the week. The games of the week this week is, wow, this should be fun. Bears versus Chargers at 8:20 tonight. Ori, you're the guest. We just get it over with quick. Where do you see this one going? Bears versus Chargers.
You know, I would not watch this game. I tell you that much. But I'll go with the Chargers, just because I'm not a big Bears fan.
Now I'm with you. The Bears have been so wishy-washy. I think they only have one good game this year. The Chargers got so much potential, but we don't truly know what they are, Tyrone. My pick is Chargers.
My pick is the Chargers. Because I mean, the Chargers actually do kind of show you something. They kind of give you a little bit. So it's like they can win. So the Bears don't give me nothing. I'm just saying, I don't know if I can ever pick the Bears to win any game this season. So, oh,
yeah, no, I'm with y'all. I think it's a clean sweep right here. Chargers.
Yeah, let's hope we don't come back talking about donuts. But everybody's sleeper pick that got beat last week: Lions versus Raiders. Back around the horn. Oh, where we going?
I did not see that coming.
What's that?
No, the Lions and Raiders. So wait, who we picking now?
You just said it. Lions and Raiders. Holy shit! Are you here?
Oh no! Oh, that was last week's game. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's this week's game. Holy shit! Are you in Mario Land right now?
No, why don't I see that game here? Okay, well I'm picking the Lions. I don't see them here, but I'm picking the Lions.
It's
Oh,
tomorrow's
it's
game,
Monday.
Monday
It's
night.
Monday. Okay, yeah, nah, Lions. I'm like,
He,
when are they playing Sunday?
and Tyrone, the funny thing is, he ain't even looking at the schedule. He's looking straight at FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to get my money in.
But your pick, Tyrone.
If the Lions are going to be what we thinking they are, then this is the kind of game that they have to win. You know what I mean? They can't be losing to the Raiders. So I really think the Lions are what we say they are. They look pretty much like we're on point with them. So I'm gonna have to pick the Lions to win this game.
Ori.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you guys on this one as well. I'm definitely going with the Lions. I think this is like a prove it game for them. So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. This is a riding of the ship kind of game. After getting smacked up like they did last week, and just to say how much they got smacked up last week. Let me just look at the score real quick. Yeah, 38-6 by the Ravens.
Oof.
They got punched directly in the teeth. They can't have that again to a really bad Raiders team. But before we get to the bullshit that Tyrone brought up, let's get into this NBA season now. Shit, like first off, like I mean, again, we're only about 3, maybe some teams 4 games in. Let's get right back to the guest, Ori. I mean, what is it that attracted you so heavily to basketball to make it such an important piece to your life?
Yeah, well, honestly, I was drawn to the game at a really, really young age. It's funny. It was Michael Jordan, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I used to have these like old VHS tapes, you know, like when regular kids were watching like the Disney musicals and stuff. I used to play these VHS tapes of it was NBA Jam Session, NBA Three-Peat, and then Michael Jordan Airtime. And it was always just something I was fascinated with. And I played. I was like, varsity, high school, AAU was about as far as I got. But I just always loved the game. Michael Jordan was definitely one of those guys that just directed my fandom. And then I just, as he retired, grew to kind of watch the Celtics because they were the team that I could watch the most. But I really just am a fan of all of it. I love everything about the NBA. And I think it's just evolving and getting better and better, despite some things that may get worse.
Oh, true indeed. Even though, well, to that point there, like, let's speak on that real quick, because you said that things that could make it worse. Like, other than from my point of view, and I want everybody to give a little piece off of that, what make it worse, not to hang on the negative, but other than to me, I gotta call out the softness of players. Because like basketball to me kind of evolved to the point where it's like you give a little Lance Stevenson and then it's all of a sudden flop, 2 fouls and a possible technical. You know what I'm saying? Like you bring, and some of these brothers are built, like, I mean, better bodies than me easily, but they don't, like, it's like the game gets played where try to avoid contact. When you bring it to 90s, 80s, beyond, it was work your way through contact. Like, that's my only, if there was something worse about the game. But other than that, like, I appreciate the elevation and evolution of where it got to, with the exception of the every big man shooting threes. I do appreciate where we've gotten to, but negatives, like go back on that point of the what is some of the, you said the bads that your opinion.
Well, honestly, go ahead.
Listen, I don't have many negatives about the game. I think the whole flopping thing to me is great because it's funny. I laugh at that shit all the time. When I see a little dude bump LeBron and LeBron flops all over the place and falls down, that shit is entertaining to me. It's funny to me. But here it is too, though. It's a certain. I like basketball because I like when I can see the strategies here, right? And I know if it's a game that's tight, you got them in foul trouble. You need that one foul to get to go to the free throw line and stuff like that. And LeBron goes and takes a flop, and he gets that call, and now that foul puts them in the you know what I mean? That foul gets them over the limit. Now we shooting free throw from here on out. That's a strategy. That's a strategy flop. So flopping, if you got to flop to get the foul, that's what you got to do. It's all part of the game to me. So I don't really mind it. What I do mind is the All-Star weekend. It's like, dude, it's nothing during the All-Star weekend that I want to see now. It's not nothing to make me turn it on. I don't want to see the game. I don't want to see the slam dunk contest. I don't want to see. It's nothing. They got it.
Maybe 3-point shootout. Even 3-point shootout. You want to see that either?
They need to eliminate it. And if I had to pick one thing that's really a major problem, I would pick the load management shit. I'm just like, if you ain't injured, you need to be playing, man. I don't care how important the game is. If you're not injured, your ass need to be on that court.
All right.
Yeah, you sound like Jeff Van Gundy right now, man.
All right. But all right. This is where I appreciate the evolution of the game, because the load management aspect, I understand, because sports science has evolved so much to where athletes have better understandings of their bodies and make the point and understand that, like, yo, this is the long haul. We're in this for a long haul. Yeah, the games are still the same. The difference is the mentality of the player. I'll give you that. The mentality of the player. But again, when these athletes they're not even in an era where they're banging hard. They're banging hard like that. And they fucking break an ankle because they got breathed on, or there's Zion Williamson who just runs up and down the court and holy shit, or they're Anthony Davis who just, comes down with a rebound and holy shit, season's over type shit. Like, there's got to be a level of self-preservation. The only issue, and I get it on the money aspect, Ori, of the whole load management, it's just you pay the ticket. The Lakers are in town. You pay the ticket, but LeBron doesn't want to play. He's taking the day off against your Detroit Pistons.
It's a double-edged sword. I really don't think there's any way you're going to win that one, because I think it can go, like you said, it can go both ways, where, you could be like, well, with all the medical advances and all the nutrition and the $1 million you spend on your body, why can't you play 82 games now? They used to back in the 90s. You can make that argument theoretically. So it's tough. I'm not sure what the right answer is, but I am glad to see that they are trying to do something.
I have an answer. Stretch the season out. Stretch it out even more. It used to be where game one started Halloween or right around Halloween. Now it's 2 weeks prior. Stretch it out to June. Have these guys play the most twice a week. That right there will give you enough time, enough treatment, or whatever that you need, that you can play every day. Or every game.
O's option is kind of the only option, because I was thinking that 50, that strike season when they played 50 games was great, because every game meant something. Everybody was out there hustling, working hard, and so my mindset goes to reducing the season, but you can't do that because there's too much money lost. You can't take away the 30 games, you lose all that money. So I know they're not going to reduce the season, but here's my problem. Here's a question I like to present to y'all.
Real quick, Tyrone, real quick. If they were to stretch out the season, right? Now think of these other arenas that want to have events within the basketball season. That'll give the MSG a chance to have Beyonce or whoever, Bruce Springsteen or whoever the fuck at the Garden during the winter session. So I mean it's a win-win. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Here's my question I want to present to y'all, right? So why can't the load management not be games, but be practice? Because I feel like this. I feel like if I'm LeBron James, right, practice ain't doing shit for me. at all on no level. So I don't have to go. Listen, LeBron, you off for the week. Show up for the game, and that's it. Why do I got to come to practice? Why do I got to work out at the facility? Why do I got to try to teach these young boys? Like, I don't need to do that. So for me, if I'm LeBron James, or if I'm somebody that's already at the height of my level, why can't I just have if I want to play the games, why do I got to go to practice and get up early and go do the bullshit that I don't even need, bro? LeBron James doesn't need practice.
I'm not gonna
they don't do
lie.
that already?
Like that felt like full blown Allen Iverson right there. We talking about practice?
Was he wrong? Was Iverson wrong when he said that?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. I mean, not that we all know, the story behind it. But who's to say they don't do that now? With practice and these players. So we don't know.
So
I think they do. I mean, and I'm kind of like, I'm thinking about this within like NFL terms. Like you said stretch the season out. NFL stretched the season out by adding another game because of more money. But Tyrone's point made hella sense to stretch the season out. Yeah, 2 games. I would say, yeah, I think they already kind of play 2 games a week. If that, sometimes 3. But it's not like baseball where you're playing 3 consecutive in a week, travel day, you're playing another 2 series, you're playing another. My bad, we had a special guest appearance. But yeah, like we got we my bad. Let me collect my thoughts. I see what you're saying. They don't play that many games as is.
Let me see. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna try and bring up this like the next schedule or whatever.
And maybe if you add to stretch it out, like maybe get rid of back-to-backs,
Right. They pretty much already doing that though, for the most part. No.
If you're a player, right, and you want to
try to, yes.
If you're a player, right, and you want to say, hey, I'm tired, or the coach wants to do load management and say you're tired, and it's game 50 of the season, and you're in a good position, and so game 50 of the season don't mean nothing. You're in a good position. You don't have to win that game. Cool. You don't play. But what happens to players when they're tired? Like, you know what I mean? Somebody like LeBron, who sometimes the Lakers are in situations where they're trying to fight for the playing game, and it's the end of the season, and you got a guy like LeBron who's 38, 39 years old that has to play every game, and he's fucking tired. So why is it because the Clippers are doing good and Kawhi Leonard's tired? Kawhi Leonard doesn't have to play. And then we're talking about load management. We're talking about protecting these players. But LeBron James at 38's got to play 40 minutes every fucking game. So don't tell me about that it's a health issue. Don't tell me about none of that, because LeBron's doing it. He's older than all of you. So get like Brian, you know what I mean? You can do that. You got everything LeBron has, you have. So why can't you do the same things that man is doing? Get like Brian, bro.
Okay, but again, all right. Here's a part of into what you're saying. Here's a part of where I think a little bit of the issue when it comes to basketball in these days, which it does give us special talents that we get to see, but the positionless side of basketball that we've been in within the past few years. That's where it kind of makes it easy to say get like LeBron, because you're getting centers that play like point guards or small forwards like LeBron, you know what I'm saying? But I, in some respects, want to see the fundamental positions of basketball again, because I'm tired of personally seeing Joel Embiid behind that 3-point line, who should be down in the paint. And I love Joel Embiid. Outside of, he is my favorite player in the league right now, with the exception to LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? He's been my favorite player in the league for the last few years. But I get it. Like Patrick Ewing, my favorite player of all time, he would maybe pull up from 3 1 or 2 times a game just because he was wide open. Not looking to shoot. And so I kind of tie that into like one, he should be down in the paint dominating. But then again, when you're down in the paint dominating, and a lot of these centers nowadays, like they're not built like Embiid, they're not built like the Joker. They run with a certain level of fragility that they're always getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So thinking back to Anthony Davis, the kid who started off as a point guard in high school, growth spurt, became one of the better scorers in the league when healthy. He's that kind of that growing up into transitioning to positionless basketball. There's one of my hates, but everybody can't be like LeBron. Even though, as I think, positionless basketball is everybody can kind of be in any position at any time, but not other people can quote unquote get like. Because that get like LeBron is also like us older heads saying, y'all need to get like Jordan. Y'all need to get like Bird. Y'all need to get like Magic and play every single game. Which I in a point, Tyrone, I feel it on the level of, yeah, I would love to see these people fight it out because these people that we grew up on fought it out and played through everything. But again, the sports science is different where thinking football, you got a Ronnie Lott that's just thinking about, I just want to go in there because I love this game and I want to take some heads off. Here, go take the piece of my finger on the sideline now so I can get back in the game. Now people are more concerned because there's more money at play, and I don't want to keep rambling on. I think y'all kind of get the points I'm getting as I'm throwing fucking points at the board all over the place. But I think y'all get what I'm trying to say.
Well, my point was for me, right? If I'm in the NBA, I'm Kawhi Leonard. I'm somebody in the NBA that's, I'm Giannis. I'm one of these dudes that's supposed to be one of these dudes. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be him in the NBA, right? And I'm watching 38-year-old LeBron still play at the high level at his age, and he playing every game. And that don't make me feel no type, like that don't make you feel no type of way. So no, I'm not sitting out no game if LeBron ain't sitting out no game, because it's like he's doing it at 38. So whatever he's doing, I ain't talking about his skill set. I might not have his skill set, but I need to hit the gym. I need to run. I need to get my body to where, because LeBron, you know what I mean? Like you don't have no fear. Like these dudes don't care no more, man. That's how I feel like they don't care. I feel like Kawhi don't care because I'm like, if you watching 38 LeBron James do what he doing, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to at least make it look like you like that. Come on, man.
But I think bringing up Kawhi, right? It's arguing like that's the one guy that I get it. I get why. I can get why he's a big proponent on load management and not coming back too soon and all that, because he realizes, I feel that he realizes early that there is life after basketball. I don't want to be walking around with no limp because my knee is fucked up and I came back too soon. You know what I'm saying? Yo, then we could fill a room with NBA players that came back, with athletes that came back too soon from an injury and they fucked themselves up more. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get where Kawhi is coming from when not rushing these injuries, especially no when it comes to like torn ACLs and MCLs and all that shit. So.
Well, that's it. I think it's a combination of both worlds too, because you also have these athletes making, phenomenal comebacks, like the Adrian Petersons of the world that, tear everything and somehow come back and excel again. And it used to be that some of these injuries were career enders, and so a lot of stuff is just, it's, I don't know. I feel like as things change, it's hard. It's harder for older generations, our generations, that, we saw these battles and we saw these warriors and we saw them treat the game differently. And as the game evolves, I feel like it's the competition kind of evolves as well. And it doesn't have that same kind of, I don't know the right word to say, that same kind of maybe compassion, not compassion, but passion. Maybe that same kind of passion that older players used to have. Like, I'm not saying that these guys aren't passionate. I mean, obviously you have to be to make it and to be an NBA player. But I guess it's just, it seems different. You know, like you mentioned with the Ronnie Lotts of the world, you know, removing a finger or something. Like it just seems different, and because we saw it different, it's hard to compare.
The way, because to what you're saying is the word that came to my head again, thinking quote unquote our era basketball, that warrior spirit,
Yeah.
that it takes whatever it takes to win. And that's one of them generational things that's changed, because the one thing that kept running through my head while we were all talking is Marshawn Lynch saying protect your chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is Marshawn Lynch saying protect your chicken? And
Yep.
that obviously just means it's like, yo, these guys are getting smarter and they're making so much more money. Tie that in again with sports science and the evolution of just healing post injury, or sometimes like Big O said, we could have a laundry list of people who gotten hurt and never recovered the same. You know what I'm saying? And then, as you mentioned, Ori, our generation of player. Yes, our generation of player, many of them played every game, never missed a game, sometimes maybe missed 1 game, 2 games a season. But then when you see them now in their 60s, 70s, if they're lucky enough to make it to 70s, 80s, and things like that, look at how some of these people walk around. Look at their hands. Their hands and their fingers are a big tell into that warrior mentality and warrior spirit. How many freaking athletes have you seen where like their middle finger, first off, their hands be this big anyway, but their middle finger is now like this,
Yeah.
and can never be fixed? You know what I'm saying? Or they got that walk where they have to now use a cane. They're using the knee thing. I remember what was I had to go to this doctor's office one time, and this older black man came out of the room after seeing the doctor. I had a back injury, I think it was. I think it was a back injury or it was an elbow injury, but I had to go for an MRI, and I had to go to this place in Manhattan. Older black man walks out. The receptionist at the desk was just like, "Did you know who that was?" I was like, "No, not at all," because I couldn't tell by no. I didn't know. Just another older brother. He's like, "That was Pearl Washington or Earl." No, it was Earl the Pearl Monroe. Or yeah, we played for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
Earl
like,
Pearl.
"Yeah, it was Earl the
What?
Pearl," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. He can
But
Old
hardly
man
walk now.
coming out of MRIs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, point I'm trying to make is yes, the warrior spirit, warrior mentality of the athlete, it was great in our day because, yeah, we wanted to see the greatest continue against the greatest, not realizing that, yeah, while you're the great staying on the field against the next great staying on the field, and it looks like it's full speed, they're really playing at half speed, just trying to gut it out for the passion of the game.
here's the thing though, and I'm gonna be as honest as I can be. I don't give 2 fucks. I do not. My truth is this. If you told me right now that I had to walk with a giddy up at 60, but I can guarantee right now that I can play 5 or 6 years in the NFL, I can make enough money to take care of my family. And the only result of that is that I might not walk properly at 60, sign me up. I'm in it. When you sign up for professional sports, you taking that risk no matter what. You can play one fucking game and blow your knee out. You can play one fucking game and fuck your finger up and have it bent up. That only takes one hit, one game, one time. So I don't give a fuck. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I will sacrifice my entire body to make that money that they making. These contracts are getting out now. You can tell me that I'll be 70 and in a full body cast and I won't give a fuck. I'll be out there because that's what it's about, bro.
But
You're a fucking whore. You're a whore.
Tyrone, let me get him real quick. Oh, but see, I raised my hand because in some respects I agree. I would love to get out of this piece of shit that I'm renting right now. You know what I'm saying? For that aspect. But you have to appreciate the athlete that understands, as I just said a minute ago, protect your chicken. You want to be able to live a little bit longer to see the benefits of all the money you made right now. I get it. I get it. We all want to be able to make the money to kind of help create generational wealth for the family. But you want to
Right.
be
I
able
get it.
to
I get it.
you want to be able to live to enjoy it too. You know, like my father's been retired almost 15 years out of the same job that I worked, right? That I work now, right? What I've always said, and I've heard from other retired senior guys, is if you live past 10 years, if you live 10 years past your retirement, you beat the game. You've kind of made a lot of your money back in a way to where you have lived long enough to see that money and enjoy that money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can look at
When did we
millions
get
and
to fuck
millions and
up to
millions.
dying?
We can millions and millions and millions, right? But ESPN made that movie broke for a reason. Because
When did
yeah,
we
you
go
went
from
out
fucked
there
up
and
to dying, man?
what?
You went from fucked up to dying. I ain't say that. I ain't say I'll be dead. I said I'll be
No,
fucked up.
I said no. You spun that. I said live long enough to enjoy all that money you made.
Well,
That's what I was truly saying. You
it's
understand me,
so
Ori?
tough because like you want to be able to say that, and because I think that that's true, that the players, it's it's the player empowerment thing, you know, like that player empowerment is this is one of the pieces that kind of comes along with that, where player load management and financial security and being taken care of health wise after they retire, and all these types of things that are important as well. I think the players are finally starting to turn around and invest in these things a little bit more, and people are just like, well, hey, that's a lot of money. You should give your life to basketball. That's a lot of money, and
But
I get that too.
okay, I don't want to make it sound like I'm advocating for these players, right? Because I've never played any type of sport. Came close, but never did. Um, when you have guys like Kawhi Leonard, and we keep bringing his name up, that is so he is so like, yo, listen, I want to protect my body and all this and all that. What about the powers that be? What about the NBA, the NFL, NHL, whatever? Are these guys and I know we all know the answer to this, but I'm asking anyways. Are these guys protecting or holding down these players that gave their bodies, that gave the owners millions of dollars after they finished playing? Maybe that's another reason why he's like, yo, listen, you know what? I'm not gonna go out there and do XYZ and play through pain and all that, because I know I'm be on my own once I retire.
Great point.
So
Great point, because that brings it back to the NFL briefly as the tie-in. This is the reason
mhm.
why the veteran players sued the league and got that $750 million settlement, because they are not being taken care of properly post career. To where,
Mhm.
yes, we would all love to see for the flashy, for the whatever the pomp and circumstance, because we grew up in the era where we saw Patrick Ewing play 80 out of 82 games. We see Michael Jordan play all 82 games plus every finals game, all that shit. Like, we grew up in those eras of the quote unquote warrior player.
Mhm.
But again, today, not all players get the financial stability or ability to be able to set themselves up for the future. Like, you might remember the name better, Ori. What's that player? I forgot the guy's name, but he was like one of those like serviceable guys that wasn't a superstar, wasn't nothing, but became a multi-billionaire post career. He owns like a couple franchises of
I'm talking
something.
about Junior Bridgman.
Probably one of them. It might be one of
Junior
them.
Bridgman play for the Bucks, right?
That's what I was thinking with Junior Bridgman, but right? Isn't
Yeah.
he the guy that's
He owns like six different Wendy's or some shit like that.
Right. But it's shit like that where not everybody also is financial savvy enough to be able to say, you know what, post career, I'm moving this way. You know what I'm
like
saying? Like, I just
he brought up the broke thing, like Antoine Walker? I mean, look at how
Cybertron. That was the biggest shit for that couple. Cybertron.
But you're a grown man. You're a grown man. You already know you in this business. You already know if you good enough to be one of them upper echelons. You know if you good enough to get that big contract. You know if you know how your money gonna go, right? You're a grown man. If you're not planning for your future, bro, that's your problem. If you're not planning for your future, that's on you. If you're not planning to have health insurance, if you're not planning to make sure your money still works for you after you retire, that's your problem. The league's not responsible for that, bro. They tell you what you're going to get on your contract. They tell you how you're going to be treated after that. That's what it is. You're a grown man. Handle your business.
This union guy. This union guy. This union guy is so anti-union right now.
You're saying this at 42, 43, 44. These kids is 19, 18, 19, 20 years old.
Exactly.
You know, they're not thinking about
generational wealth.
Yeah, they're not thinking about that.
Exactly. Like if the league was full of 32 and 38-year-olds and we're watching, you know, what's perceived in these days is like dinosaur basketball when you're that old. You know what I'm saying? Like
the young kids is not the load management people we talking about. I'm talking about Kawhi. I'm talking about like LeBron. I'm talking about older guys. I'm talking about guys that's in the 30s right now that's doing the load management shit. The young guys, they better play all 82 games, you know what I mean? Or if they can, I don't care what they do. I don't care what these young whippersnappers do. I don't care about these y'all ain't ready. You know what I mean?
LeBron is the outlier. LeBron is the anomaly though, because from the day he started, his whole circle was set. You know, I don't know what he did or what, you know, mindset he had, because countless players before and after him tried the same shit and it didn't work. You know, somebody ended up broke, failed businesses, like everything he touched turned to gold. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, besides, you know, his mom's and Delonte West, but we don't talk about that.
Stop it.
Oh, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, but no, man, he's like he's the blueprint of what you should do as a successful player after basketball. He's still fucking playing. So
well, LeBron's a unicorn any way you slice it. I mean, to be as hyped as he was, and then not only fulfill the hype, but literally, you know, surpass the hype at that age, at that, you know, young of a I mean, it's just what he's done, and to become an ambassador for the league and to play as long as he has. I mean, the most scandalous things you can say about LeBron are mostly ignorant narratives, you know, like this guy is just, he's such a great ambassador, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that sometimes.
Was ESPN even playing high school basketball games before LeBron? Barely. I don't recall.
Barely. You always got yeah. Go ahead, Ori.
No. I was gonna say barely. I remember they used to play like the All-American McDonald's games and stuff.
Yeah, they played that.
Come on there once in a while, but when it came to like actual, you know, high school versus high school action, you didn't typically see that on ESPN a lot. No.
Nah, and he kind of, if you can kind of also say too, he ushered in us seeing the AAU games being primetime games. Not saying that he was an AAU talent, but they were able to now flex that into television, because though high school basketball is still prevalent, especially in small areas that don't have pro teams, a lot of the top of the tippity top best athletes now run within the AAU circuit while playing in their high school teams, to where now, oh shit, we can now monetize off of seeing a combination of some of the best of, or who's perceived to be the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? This is where we can see Carmelo Anthony's son running with Dwayne Wade's son or LeBron's son in the AAU circuit.
Exactly.
What do y'all think about just like the adjustment to your game too? Like I watched Kevin Garnett play, and I watched Kevin Garnett try to jump out the building. I watched Kevin Garnett be so athletic and do all these things. And I watched Tim Duncan be fundamental and not put that stress on his body and be just as efficient on the court as Kevin Garnett. Like to say, like you see how Giannis plays now. Giannis is always go go go, and Jokic, you can't even slide a piece of paper under his jumps. and he's still proficient. You see what I'm saying? So maybe if you can adjust your game to say, hey, can I be proficient without tearing my body up? You can do that too.
And that's certainly possible.
I mean, and also it prolongs your career. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember Kevin Garnett, the latter couple of years he was in Boston when he was in Brooklyn. He was a shell of himself and a dirty player at that. On top of that, you know what I'm saying? So
Go ahead, Ori.
I mean, yeah, I would always take Tim Duncan's skill set over KG's.
And I think that's the right answer when it all boils down to it. Though it certainly maybe depends on the day of the week, because I think Kevin Garnett, because of certain aspects that he had, definitely brought something different to the table than Duncan. But what Duncan did was so fundamentally productive, that he didn't need any of the flash. He was gonna beat you. To kind of like that Jokic, like you said with Jokic there too, Jokic doesn't look like your traditional NBA basketball player. Let's not be frank here. Like he's not super athletic. He's kind of doughy. Like, he's big. He's kind of lanky, but he will put 50 on your head, and you will be like, what? Like Anthony Davis in the playoffs. He would knock these threes down in Anthony Davis's face, and Davis just shrugs his shoulders and just looks like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this man.
Last year clearly showed us.
Defender, and he has no idea what to do with Nikola Jokic. No clue.
That's the crazy part.
A point though between all of this is like, because I like what Tyrone said as far as you got to learn to adjust your game. And now again, we're mentioning the two names of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, right, within this whole thing. Kevin Garnett looked all but a shell of himself once he got to the in Brooklyn and things like that, like, because he couldn't move and operate the way he used to. So where if your game has been affixed for a good decade plus, like the transition, if you wasn't doing some of the other basic fundamentals before, your transition is not going to feel the same to where a Tim Duncan, again, we're talking Tim Duncan, who was the big fundamental. When you have the basic fundamentals mastered, it carries generations. Tyrone.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that's exactly why someone like Steph Curry. Steph Curry could be another guy that plays for a long time, because shooting relies on just motor mechanics, muscle memory, all these things, but it doesn't rely on your athleticism. Like, he will mold into a beautiful 3-point specialist at one stage of his career potentially, and you'd be like, hey, my 3-point specialist is the greatest shooter of all time, if he's in that Ray Allen mold or something, But somebody like Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, who relied much more heavily on athleticism,
strictly athleticism,
guy, he almost was out of the league.
And
he found another home. I'm happy for him, but he was almost out of the league.
And I'm glad you made that comparison there, because as many OGs have told me in the past, when it comes to basketball, the last thing you lose is that ratchet. And if you have that shot, if you have that pure, clean shot that, like, Ray Allen made a living off of keeping that pistol right there and just shooting them at will when needed. You know what I'm saying? That was his base fundamental, where he was always a great scorer. We seen back when he was with the Bucks, them old school purple uniforms with the big deer on the front, Bucks era.
I was going to say he was a 3-level scorer.
He was on every point of the floor, bringing it all the way back to UConn. At every point of the floor, Ray Allen was deadly, was lethal. But he was proof that the last thing to go was that ratchet. and he would be there, corner, corner three, winning finals,
That's
just by
why.
picking up on the court shooting. But the thing Tyrone know is you have
Exactly. And
to
he
have,
extended his career. Like,
yeah, and you have to already be going into that transition of your career with those skills, and then just playing your role accordingly. The game down low for Kevin Garnett, once he got into the latter parts of his career, that game changed because the ball was already taken away from the inside and was already being spread outside. It was mid-range and longer by the time Kevin Garnett got to the end. You know what I'm saying? To where
yeah,
a skilled person like the big ticket, them tickets been sold out years ago.
It's funny. It's funny, right? We were bringing up Tim Duncan. Um, Popovich, man, he was the first. He was one of the first coaches to start implementing that load management. Remember, there'll be them Sunday night games, them Sunday afternoon games, and Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, they all in street clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, oh, we don't play back to back, so whatever. So he was one of the first, to implement that.
It's because it's about preservation and understanding that there's a long game. There's a long game to getting to the finals. That's part why he got 5 championships.
That's not my problem. Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. Like, okay, let's just say it's a marquee game. Like, if the Lakers is playing, let's say the Minnesota Timberwolves, and LeBron and AD, they need some low management. They tired. You keep them out of that game. Cool, fine. People don't care. If the Lakers is playing like the Golden State Warriors, you can't load manage your boys in that game. First of all, that's a game that's a potential loss with the starter. So how is it that it's cool? So you're just saying to your team, we just gonna take an L today because LeBron tired? Like, that's where I'm getting. It's like the games where you know that team can beat you. You don't take load management on that game. Those are the games where it's like we gotta show this team that we can roll with them. And so so it's like, oh, we just gonna agree. Everybody on this team just gonna agree, and all our fans and everybody just gonna agree we're gonna lose this game because LeBron's tired today. You know what I mean? Like,
see, the other I know what you're saying, but the other end to what you're saying is what ESPN and all these other news outlets stress about is because they want to see the prime time, the quote unquote best of the best go head to head so their networks can make money. That's really what it's about. But if you're in a game of wins and losses, making it go for the long run, yeah, sometimes you can chalk up an L here and there with giving the right players a break. I know what you're saying. I know, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying because on the fan aspect, the fan level of things, we want to see the best versus the best go head to head, part because that's what we grew up on. We grew up on that. We grew up on can't wait to see what the Bulls do against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and whoever else is on that roster versus Jordan and Pippen and them. Like, we always, because we were spoiled to see the best of the best. But when these coaches and sports science and all these things combine together to trying to make your team withstand the long haul, not everybody's going to go 72-10 or 73-9. If you feel that kind of streak going, it's all hands on deck. If you really, really feel you got that going, then everybody balls the fuck out. But if not, you take your wins and you take your losses where accordingly. And then again, 12, 15-man roster, everybody's a professional. So I would expect even the people on the bench, remember, you're a damn professional too. You had a certain skill set that brought you here. Play like it. Yeah, I'm sorry, superstar player 2, 3, 4 ain't on the court. Play like them. You practice against these people every day to get better, right or wrong.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out. You're a professional athlete. Get the fuck out there and play like a pro too. Not just because you're not named number A, B, and C that gets mentioned in the articles. You're a pro athlete. You are one of the under 1% of athletes who make it that far. play like one.
Exactly. I agree.
You know,
I agree with that
play
statement
like
for
one.
sure.
But that was a dope conversation that I thought that shit started at like the 20-minute mark. We're already at the hour mark, which we don't worry about times here, Ori, since you're new. And as always, as a guest, at any time, yo, dare I want to come back on, just say the word. We invite everybody at any time. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wasn't sure how long this was gonna go. To be 100% honest, I'm a little, I yeah,
That's okay.
I'm a little crunched for time coming up.
Okay, so we'll get into the league right now. We'll just get into a couple predictions and things like that, and then we'll let you run, and then we'll get into the bullshit Tyrone brought up.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm
Nah, all
sorry.
good.
I wasn't sure how long to knock out with the three kids and stuff. I got some
Man,
things
listen,
going down, as you can imagine. So
good brother. I got 3, and this is daddy time right now. Tyrone
yeah,
got more than me.
there you
We
go. My daddy
we
time's about
see
to run out, apparently.
we'll see where he's at. Well, you know what? Because oh no, Tyrone is a Western Conference guy here. So let's start there. This is where we're at so far at the beginning of the season with the Mavs in first, Pelicans in second, Nuggets third, Thunder fourth, Suns fifth, Warriors sixth, Lakers seventh, Timberwolves in the eighth, and sneaking next to the ninth position. And we'll stop here at the 10th because of one name that we'll briefly talk about as the Spurs. Ori, with the West, man, like we're just gonna go. Who do we think is gonna come out of the West overall? Who should we be watching? And for the West, I mean, is it really Wemby? Should we be watching Wemby, or should we be looking for a Denver repeat? Like, but where do you see the West lining up this year so far?
I think it's going to be it's obviously going to be a wacky West because there's so much talent in the Western Conference. I mean, even the bottom playing teams have players that could make runs, so it's going to be very competitive. But to be honest, I mean, if I was putting my money on it and looking at all the situations going down, it's extremely difficult not to go with Denver again. I mean, their chemistry is great. Now they've proven they can do it. They have the pieces around Jokic. I mean, they're definitely got to be my favorite. Though I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix, LA, there's other teams that can all make runs. Even somebody like the Timberwolves, if they made it to the Western Conference Finals, wouldn't surprise me. So there's a lot of talent over there.
Tyrone, you're the Lakers guy.
And I agree there's a wacky West and a lot of talents, but surprisingly, I think the team to not watch and not worry about is the Lakers. I know they got LeBron and I know they got AD and I know they got some talent over their team, but I just don't feel like the Lakers have enough to get them over the hump with what Denver's doing, with what Phoenix possibly can do. But the team I got my eye on is the Mavericks because I'm just wondering with that talent and with Luka and with I just don't understand why the Mavericks can't be like a top tier team. So I'm looking at them and I'm seeing them at the top now, but I know that's going to change. But I'm really curious to see where the Mavericks end up because talent wise, they should be at the top, but they just don't mesh with something's wrong with them. And so I'm waiting to see if they can actually make a good run this year.
Well, I mean, Ori, the way off of that point, like we all know they got 2 of the best guards in the league, hands down. But is it the rest of the positions for that Mavericks team? Because I see what Tyrone is talking about. Like I have a feeling they're gonna have a lot of bumps in the road that's gonna call the question, a whole bunch of things. The talking heads on TV are gonna bring up probably chemistry, try to say, things about Kyrie and his past and attitude and things like that are gonna come back to haunt this team and shit like that. But I think maybe it's a lot more of the surrounding cast that might put the Mavs in like that limbo of they could be number 1 or they could be number 8.
I agree. I think that they're very top heavy. I mean, Kyrie and Luka, very talented. It's an interesting backcourt. I'm not sure. I mean, we've all seen how two ball dominant players fit together, and the results are mixed sometimes. This could be one of those situations where it could be like one of those duos where they complement each other, or it could be one of those duos, maybe like I'm thinking, you remember when like Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony teamed up with the Nuggets, and they just, the play styles just didn't really fit great when it came down to crunch time. And that's a little bit of my concern as well, is just there's some fit things between Luka and Kyrie that I'm not sure, how that plays out over an 82 game season.
Yeah, I could dig it. And to be honest with you, like as we mentioned these two names, like I kind of almost see their games not that far apart from each other.
Right.
Except for maybe just Luka is just maybe like a touch slower physically. But other than that, like they can both be ball
Couple of
dominant.
touches.
They a couple touches. I ain't mad at that. But they both can be ball dominant. They both can score from almost any point on the floor. They're great facilitators. So it's about the rest of the team and who's the cleanup people.
Well, right, and they have, I mean, no defense. I mean, that squad is
There you
very
go.
limited defensively. I mean, and then your top two players, are limited defensively as well. So it's just kind of there's not a lot of defensive foundation. I mean, they got rid of Dorian Finney-Smith. They got rid of some of these other guys. And defense is going to struggle. And so you're going to have to outscore everybody. And that's a tough ask in the NBA these days.
Especially when you think about the history of the Phoenix Suns. Oh, this Phoenix Suns team is built differently. But when we're thinking about Phoenix Suns teams of the past, them D'Antoni eras, the run and gun, and they had the only option they had was to try to outscore everybody, or they were taking L's. Do we see the same thing with this Phoenix Suns team?
They're long gone from that, because we don't even know still don't even know who their point guard is going to be this year. I hear people saying, "Oh, it's Devin Booker's team. It's Devin Booker's team." Kevin Durant is still the best player on that team. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be honest with you, Phoenix really doesn't strike too much fear in my heart. I still think is the road to the finals goes through Denver. Having said that, OKC is going to surprise a lot of people, because this kid Chet Holmgren is by halfway through the season we're gonna stop talking about Wembanyama, and we're gonna be talking about Chet Holmgren. I think he's gonna be that good. Golden State, they're always my favorite. To go far, but yeah, depending on Looney and Kuminga, I just don't know yet, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, my pick to come out of there is still Denver.
I'm with the Denver pick. Also, I let's just briefly talk about the elephant in the room, as you mentioned, Wembanyama. Again, positionless basketball was 7'4", but he's like fucking he's like Sean Bradley's build, but with a far better game.
Yeah.
And the way he moves up down the court, like he looks. I mean, yeah, he's been playing a long time, but he looks like a newborn giraffe learning how to walk. Like it looks like he takes a step and that man's gonna snap.
And guess what? I'll be giving Wembanyama the old school treatment. If I played against him, I'm gonna have a guy that I'm gonna say, go in there and bust his ass. And I mean, bump him, hit him, knock him down, elbow that up. Like, get your 5 fouls on his ass, just to see how tough he is. You know what I mean? Get in them linky guys. You got to get in them.
But that's why he's perfect. That's why he's perfect for today's game, though, because we don't have enforcers anymore. That stuff doesn't happen. I mean, now with the game tailored towards, finesse and skill in that way, I mean, he honestly came into the league at the best time where his talents are going to seem more, unicorn-like.
Yeah, that's why I say, imagine a Sean Bradley in today's era. Now, he wasn't the greatest. He was He was like the Andre the Giant of his time in the NBA. The special attraction 7'7". Him and Manute Bol was like the special
Yeah.
attraction guys. Were they good? No. But their size and frame today, with just a little bit of maneuvers, they would eat lovely today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at Wemby, who's got he's got a bag. Like this kid can do so many things with a basketball. And then that's not even scratching the surface of what he can do defensively.
Stop the cap, no. Sean Bradley was decent. I'm telling you, Sean Bradley was a decent player. He got roughed up, bro. He couldn't handle the roughness of the NBA. That's what happened to him. He was a decent player. He had a good mid range. He had a decent game until them grown men started putting that grown man on him.
Big fact.
And that's what I would do. That's what I would do to Wembanyama. I would have somebody on my team. I would have somebody like I can't say Draymond because you need Draymond, but I would have somebody like Draymond Light that wouldn't be afraid to go in there and get some fouls on my man and show him like, hey, welcome to big boy.
That's it.
It's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Let's see. Again, let's the big fundamental 2.0. Let's see how he matches up against Jokic. I think Jokic is gonna be like that old man in the playground that no matter what that man does, it works against him. Like that's Nikola Jokic to me. Like Tyrone say, he can't jump over a piece of paper, but he's that old dude from the playground who just got it. Everybody played against somebody who could just throw it off at any point of the backboard and it goes in. Am I wrong, Ori? Like, we've all seen this.
That is absolutely the guy that just pulls up. You're like, oh, I have nothing to worry about with this guy, and then just starts dropping buckets.
Cool. But yeah, I think we all got Denver. We all got Denver coming out of the West for sure. No need to line up all the way through the 8th. We'll do that later in the season. Now we roll over to our Eastern Conference because we're the majority here.
Better believe it. Well, the good team's staying.
Yo, and I would say the East is back in a way because there's a little bit of parity amongst everybody, with the exception of some of these teams that are sitting in the middle right now. We got the Pacers in first right now. Celtics, Magic, Bucks, Pistons, 76ers, Hornets, Wizards. I mean, it's looking like how it normally does. The teams that you don't think are supposed to do good are doing good right at the beginning of the season. Then it becomes Dennis Green. We are who they thought they were, and we let them off the hook. And they all start to fall down. You know what I'm saying? So I do not expect to see the Magic, the Pistons, and the Hornets stay up within this top 8 right now. But as a Knicks fan, as you see that, I do see us within this season finishing anywhere between 5th and 8th. 5th in the play-in. I honestly see that. Like right now, yeah, we got a slow start, Big O, but Jalen Brunson is doing Jalen Brunson-like things early. Once we could get RJ Barrett and Julius Randle to really, really kick it into gear, at least get into second gear to get everything rolling, and then shift straight to 4th, I think we're gonna be all right. Oh,
you guys realize that the middle tier is like the worst place to be in basketball, because that means you're gonna get a shitty lottery pick, and you're probably gonna get bounced out in the first round, if you get into the playoffs. This Knicks team to me did not do enough in the offseason. I mean, DiVincenzo, I like him. Chemistry wise, he'll be good playing with Brunson and Hart. But these guys, you have some teams that made some major power moves. You know what I'm saying? With Lillard going to the Bucks, I mean, yes, the rest of the team is decimated, but these are 2 top 5, top 8 players on the same team. Pacers don't strike no heart, feel my heart. Sixers, okay, that's another thing. I don't know if y'all seen the Embiid, the trade they're talking about Embiid to the Knicks for Randall, Barrett, and a couple of first round picks and some shit like that. horrible fucking trade. For both sides.
I would give up Julius Randle and somebody else and some picks, but
I
not
wouldn't give
RJ
up
Barrett.
both. I wouldn't give up. Yeah, not RJ Barrett. You know, I don't know, man. It's still going to be a 3-man race. It's still going to be between the Sixers, Celtics, and the Heat. For my opinion. You know,
See, I think it's going to be Bucks. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be Bucks Celtics, right? I mean, if anybody else comes out of the East, I feel like it's a disappointment. Like those teams are so top heavy. Even I have them both on a tier above even the next set. You know, the Sixers, the Heats of the world, because I think the ceilings on those two teams are so high. I mean, what we can expect from the dynamic duo of obviously Damian Lillard and Giannis, they play with each other. They're like that fit. Unlike Luka and Kyrie, these guys seem to be like the perfect kind of fit. And so I'd be really curious to how far that can push them. And then same with the Celtics. I mean, you have two all defensive players in your backcourt. Then you have two elite wings. Then you have this stretch five that's a rim protector. Like that lineup on paper is scary. So I mean, I don't know. For me, it's a Bucks Celtics East basically, and I think anything else is going to be kind of an anomaly.
And you know
Jaylen Brown doesn't show up in the playoffs, so.
Well, I was gonna say, my bad. You said Jaylen Brown don't show up in the playoffs, but my thing is the people talking about Porzingis, like, oh, this like they tried that shit. Oh, this is what the Knicks gave up on. No, we gave up on a guy who was consistently injured and barely seen the court while he was in New York. And let's keep it real. When you're talking business, you're talking trying to build a team to create something, to make something work. How long do you stay attached to the injured? Like this ain't Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, where that's your only hope. Mm-hmm. And you pay that man to hang on to him, to treat him well, to hope he sticks around, even through injury. I'm sorry, at the time with Kristaps, like he had to go. He had to go. The bright lights in the big city just might have been a little bit too much for him at that time. So he had to do wrestling comparison. He had to do what Vince McMahon did, what they had to do, what Vince McMahon did to Drew McIntyre. You're out the door. Go hone your craft somewhere else, and then maybe we'll bring you back. Do I want him back? No, y'all can have him in Boston. But that return back to a team that is poised to make a long run, with experience, with some seasoning, with working out through injury. The season's just started. We don't know if he's going to stay healthy, but he's been seasoned around the league enough to come back and be like, okay, now I can find my place in a squad that if I fuck up, we got all of these other people that can fill in my shoes, and a team game where if one falls, the other parts still work. So I'm happy for him. I don't like y'all. I still don't like y'all Celtics, but I can agree. Tyrone. This is a Bucks Celtics race for the long haul. Even though once again, Jimmy Butler is quietly being disrespected, not fully, but just by the way of not everybody's talking about him right away.
You know how I feel, okay? And my thing is, you ain't him if you ain't one. So Jimmy can be Jimmy Butler all he want. You ain't win shit. You're not him, okay? But my thing is, I think that starting my Damian Lillard going to the Bucks pushes the Celtics more than it pushes the Bucks. Because now the Celtics have had all this time to be at the top and be in the East and be saying, okay, we're the guys in the East, we're the team to beat there. And now the Bucks got something to say about that. So now Boston, you say Brown doesn't show up in the playoffs. Brown's got to show up now because Boston now, their window is closing now. Because the Bucks are saying, hey, we got this dude and we're going to be here. And your window, which looked like it was getting bigger because the Sixers were falling back and teams were falling back in the East, well, the Bucks just closed it up some. So I think that this is going to push the Celtics, and I think the Celtics are going to the championship this year just because of Lillard being on the Bucks, pushing them to say that their time is up.
Exactly. I
We
think
need to
that's a good
bookmark
call.
this. The damn, we need to bookmark that.
Well, it'll be an internet. It'll be on the internet forever. So you got that. But Ori, before you bounce off camera, man, like I said, we're not
Oh,
getting into full playoff predictions and stuff like that. But because you got to go, once again, man, thanks for accepting the invite. We had a great conversation leading in, was talking about the quote unquote the what we think is bad perception wise, and just the depth in which we took the conversation. And yeah, this is what we normally do here. Like, we'll go sideways off the rails to bring it back to the point, but it's still solid conversation. And I'm glad you was able to be here to be a part of it. And like I said, you're welcome back at any time.
I thoroughly appreciate it. This is a great show. This is great stuff. I appreciate you guys. Great commentary. Like, this is always a lot of fun, and I definitely want to be a part of this again. I'll make sure to put away the right appropriate amount of time next time. But since I know that we can talk about anything, I'll make sure that I allot certain things. But this is a lot of fun. I appreciate talking hoops with people that know hoops. So
Word. And like I said, man, as Tyrone became a permanent member of the family, all you ever have to do is say, "Yo, I feel like podding on this Sunday. Can I join?" Yes, the invitation's there. Tyrone, you could describe how easy it was.
Yeah, he just said I can come, and I got on, and then it was like, can I come again? And they were like, yeah, and then it just became a regular thing, and now I'm part of the group. Yeah, I mean, I just weaseled myself in there.
I love it. I love it. Well, I would definitely take you up on that offer, because typically I'm not. I mean, I like football, but I'm not a huge football guy. So usually my Sundays are more filled with content, NBA creations. So I would definitely be available on Sundays. So for sure.
But here's the thing again, like you just said, I could just talk. We talk about literally anything.
I love it.
This is what I always wanted this show to be: is we could literally talk about anything. Like, when we come out of J1 Con next week, the week after, we start the tournament that we tasked this man, Big O, to build, because allegedly I have bias in my randomization of tournaments. So we put this man on the spot, and we're doing a Sweet 16 of sitcoms that we pick.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we go wherever the fuck we feel like it. So even if you want to bring some shit, man, it's always welcome. All you ever gotta do, hit me on the inbox and just say where you're on. But hit me on the inbox is where they can find you. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, make sure basically you go to Google, you type in Hoop Social. You're going to get all the different platforms that we're on right now. We're trying to blow up on a bunch of different things. Just try to, cover the NBA, cover the WNBA, college game, anything basketball related. We just want to be a part of it because the three owners are all passionate basketball fans. So.
Dope, man. So again, thanks for coming on. We'll see you next time.
Sounds great, guys. I appreciate it. It was nice to meet the two of you as well. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday.
There's two other members missing that you'll eventually meet in the near future.
That sounds good. I'm looking forward to it, because this, like I said, I like people that can have friendly but fun discourse, and I feel like a lot of that's missing in society. So we all have to work hard to bring it back, and so I really appreciate these types of things.
Or no problem. And Tyrone says it every week. Grown men having grown man conversations, disagreeing, whatever, and still walk away drinking a beer together type shit.
Exactly. Well, thank you for inviting me to be part of your group. So have a great day, guys.
Man. All right, peace. That was dope. The homie Ori from Hoop Social came through. And like I said, man, we didn't even really dig into the nuts and the bolts of basketball. But if we did, he could go there. That's why I wanted to make it a point we can set aside the basketball talk to have people that talk basketball. You know what I'm saying? But now, Tyrone, to wrap this up, bring this shit back.
So like Dwight Howard, right? He went on this whole this whole tear about how he wasn't in the NBA top 25. He went on this tear about how he was one of the best centers in the league. He went on this tear about Shaq. He did all of these things. He talked all of this shit about all of this NBA stuff. And he's out here, allegedly, stealing that Gawk 3000. Like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, my man. And then not only that, but after it comes out, he goes on this whole, this whole thing about his sexuality and about how, like, if he gets too freaky, he might take a man in there and all of this stuff. And it's just like, dude, just can you just go away? Like, the more he talks, the more shit is just bad, bro. Like, he's not helping himself at all. And then he says what he does in his bedroom is his business, but it got out. It got out your bedroom. So apparently it wasn't just your business, bro. You know what I mean? So it's just like, this is crazy that my man just went from up here to down here. Just in the past year, he just been murdering his own life. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, on the court, right? You can't take away anything from Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard pretty much put Orlando on his back and took him to the finals. You know, I mean, he got swept, but he did that. Off the court now, yeah, man. His best move was not to do the Jada route and start talking. You should have just shut the fuck up and just let it just ride out, because we've all seen the damn tapes of you doing some suspect shit on the sidelines, during games. So yeah, you should have just rode that storm out, man, instead of talking. Damn,
My
boys.
my thing is, again, live your truth. That's to be honest with you, it is what it is. If people got something to say about you liking men, liking a little penis, that's on you. That's on you. I ain't in the bedroom with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be in the bedroom with you. That's all good to me, man. You're still a human being, and I still respect the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of the alleged essay part of it all. The alleged essay part of it all. If you're duping people, coercing people, or putting people in fucked up positions is it to say that these things they didn't want? Or maybe they wanted these things, but just in a better scenario. I don't know. We don't know, because like Tyrone said just a second ago, we ain't in them bedrooms with them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't in them bedrooms with them. And I know you put me into a fucked up position like that, my pants are going on and I'm walking out the fucking room. I don't want that. I ain't with it. That ain't for me. And that's it. But again, live your truth.
But
if that's what you like, do what you like, but not on some I'm taking it shit or I'm duping somebody into getting it.
He's not even living his truth. If Dwight just said, "Hey, I'm bisexual," you know what I mean? I like men, I like women too, and all that. That's fine and dandy too. But he's trying to excuse it like, I don't like men. I'm not bisexual. I like women, but sometimes I can't control my freakiness, which means that if sometimes you can't control your freakiness, then what they're alleging that you do, you making it sound like you do that shit. Because when you saying you're a heterosexual man, that sometimes you get so freaky and so horny that you'll fuck a dude, and then a dude is saying that you force yourself on him, you sound like you do that shit. You sound like
I've
you're freaky dinky.
I've never been that horny in my life. I just want to throw that out there.
That's exactly how Dwight described it, though. He said sometimes I get too freaky, and then it's on for anybody. That's basically how he said it. So you sound like a creep. You sound like a dude that would do some shit like that.
True indeed, but again, you can be a freak, but like for instance, I like to say, why do I have to be put in a box though, by way of a label? If you get what I'm saying, like why does society have to feel like they have to label you what they see you as, just because you could say he's just a free spirit. Why does he have to now be gay? Because he did like a little peen in his mouth, whatever. That's him. But he likes women more. You know what I'm saying? But he's just a free spirit. Why does he have to be known as gay, or he has to be known as bisexual? Things like that. Like, I get it on the aspect of this though, Tyrone. Before you go, maybe your story could help somebody else live their truth. Outside of that, the other shit, like I said, the whole taking it shit, nah, I'm not with the taking it part.
Dwight Howard is the one who's feeding into it. That's the problem. People are saying, hey, Dwight's gay. Okay, that's fine. If you live your truth, yeah, I'm a little gay. I like men a little bit, something. Well, if you live your truth, yeah, I'm bisexual. What is it? No, Dwight Howard is feeding into it where he's trying to spin it. He said, I'm not gay. Y'all calling me gay. I'm this big tough guy, and I'm not gay. But yeah, y'all caught me in some situations with men, so let me explain it. It's like, no, dude, don't explain it, bro. Don't explain it. You like men a little bit. If it's your business, it's your business. Why are you telling us? He's going into detail about why he messes with men sometimes. I get too freaky and this and that. Like, we don't need to know that shit. That's your business. And then, like another thing I said, when you say that what you do in your bedroom is your business, you have to make sure that the other people that's in there with you know that is your business and you want it to be kept that way. Okay? If the man that you're doing the shit with can go out and tell everybody, and then us, as the fans, as the media, as whoever can find out about it, that's not our fault.
That's true.
It's my job on my podcast to talk shit. So if you give me some shit to talk about, I'm going to talk. It's not my fault.
True indeed. But again, for me in this aspect, I just look at the angle of society and feeling the need to label. Like, you can label it whatever you want. You're not living in that man's skin. You're not living his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like, it could just be like, yo, I'm on some 70 shit and I'm just or 60 shit and I'm just a free spirit. I'm not essentially gay because I don't live a gay lifestyle. I like sex this way sometimes, and I like sex this way this time. It's whichever way the wind blows, it gets the joint hard. It ain't getting my shit hard, but you know what I'm saying. But it's. I'm not painting him. I'm not painting him personally in no light, because that's not for me to do. That's his life.
No.
But if you are taking it, I will stress. If you are taking it, you deserve everything in bad in life to happen to you, and nobody else but you.
My thing is this though. Okay, let me put it like this. You're Dwight Howard, right? If you're Dwight Howard, no, I'm just
no, I'm not.
I'm just saying. Okay, so if you were in his position, right, and you did some of the things,
Not even in position. Pause. Not even in his position.
Well, I'm gonna take me. If I was Dwight Howard and I was a male star athlete, whatever like that, and I was in this position and I enjoyed a couple of menses on occasion, and the media found out about it and they started calling me gay or whatever, my stance would be, hey, what goes on in my bedroom is my business, and that's it. Mind your business. He's saying that now because he's already said too much previous to this time. He should have said that that's what I would do. I would just be like, yo, mind your business. If I want a man in my bedroom, that's my business, and fuck y'all. But he saw the need to defend himself, and then that backfired because once he defended himself, the boy Steven came out and said, oh, no. Dwight don't get too freaky. Dwight invited me into some freaky shit and then forced some freaky shit on me. Like, this man is crazy. And now look where that got you. Whereas if you might have just been cool from the beginning, like, yeah, look, mind your business, maybe that dude might have not felt some type of way about you denying, or you know what I mean? Just spinning all that bullshit you put out there.
Right. That's and again, that goes back to trying to honestly live your truth.
Yeah, he tried to cover it up.
Again, yes, he tried to. That's the issue there. I get it. He tried to keep it quiet until somebody decided to spread the word, and now you got to own it. You know, but if you stand on it, but see, again, this one of those, I don't want to call it toxic, but this is one of those things, especially within our community, where it's just like it still gets shamed to this day. It still gets shamed to this day. And to me, I don't work like that. I don't operate like that. And I don't, I don't respect that when you gotta shame people just because. And then again, I'm rambling, but the other side of it is like as I was thinking while you were talking, it's like if you're a man and you did that once, all of a sudden now you're gay. But if you're a woman and you did that once, you're not gay. Like women aren't quote unquote labeled as forever gay because they did it with a woman one time. You understand what I'm saying? Do you kind of get what I'm trying to get at? Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay for
society
women
for you.
that they pretty much society and their
That's
fucking
society for
label.
you. I was gonna say I was rushing back to say that remember this dude was talking outside of an NDA. Like Dwight Howard made him sign an NDA, and he spoke outside that shit. So you know that says a lot too.
But the other thing is too, like, okay, it is a shaming thing, but the Dwight Howard, and this is what makes it more worse at attention. Right before this happened, my man went on a world tour about how good he was, about I was this, I was that, I was the man in the NBA, I was this, I was that. So you was proud, you had a whole bunch of pride when it came to like what you did on the NBA court. You had a whole bunch of pride when it came to them talking about your conspiracy, your comparison to Shaq. You was walking around with a whole bunch of pride, but then soon as somebody said you was gay, so you're not really proud of yourself. You're not the man you portraying. You're not this proud man that stands on everything. You're this dude that wants to be proud of something that society likes. Like basketball on your play, but soon as society says something bad about you, you embarrassed now. You got to make excuses up. You got to try to avoid it. You know what I mean? It's just bullshit. And with the sexual assault allegations, bro, like, come on, man. It's like you're the Dwight Howard, right? You still husky. Now, most of the guys, and I'm not but most of the dainty little gay dudes, they already intimidated when they step in the room. So it's like, how do you expect this dude to be able to be like, Dwight, I don't want to do that. And Dwight's like, nigga. You know what I mean? It's like you already. So when that little dude says Dwight took something from him, the way Dwight talking and the way that dude look and the way Dwight look, I'm kind of like, maybe you
You
did,
believe him?
man.
Believe all victims. Nah,
I'm
but yeah, but
scared.
no.
If I'm walking by in the airport right now, I wouldn't walk up to him because I might be looking sexy. I'm not going nowhere near him.
No, but see, I mean, valid points from everybody. I get it. And I guess Tyrone, you're right in a way. It's like when you put it in a perspective, you did. It's like is he truly living his truth? No, it took an NDA to be broken and breached for it to come out, for him to step up and say, okay, yeah, I might like this sometimes. Okay. Again, we all like what we like. We all here on this panel like some shit that none of us know what it could be. You know what I'm saying? And then it's not just talking sexual. That's just talking in life. We all might like something that other people just ain't gonna know about. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of the things that happen in life. But like you said, Tyrone, there's a difference between owning it and living that truth and trying to mask it until it comes out. Where again, I'll repeat what I said before. If he did own it from whenever it really came of him, like, to be honest with you, within the past decade has been the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially within that realm of society. This has been the time to do it because it is being more accepted in some parts. It is a little bit more it for personality's sake, it can be a little more freeing to just let it out. And then it's like, all right, society, think what you want. This is who I am and this is how I want to live. But when you get to that level again of You're making people sign NDAs and you're hiding it and things like that. More or less, besides the factor of what is being done, you just now look more like in my eyes, you just look more like an untruthful person that can't be trusted over you took a little dick. You know what I'm saying? Like you took some
Literally.
dick. Okay. You like dick. That's okay. It's okay. It is perfectly fine if you choose to like dick, in my eyes, because I'm not going to judge you. I'm only going to judge you because you took it. Because you took the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't steal poles like that. Like the only pole theft celebration that should be done is at the end of a college football game when the number one team goes down to the unranked team and pause, everybody jumps on the goalpost and breaks the pole down. that whole joint right there should have been paused, but y'all were laughing too much to pause that.
That whole thing was suspect, but okay.
Hey, it is
We
what it
get
is,
it.
though. We get it.
We get it.
White like the pipe, and it's okay.
Hmm.
But what a way to wrap up basketball talk. And that was funny. Like I sent to y'all to the group chat. Like I fucking I was Googling. I just said, let me type in basketball.
When we went from basketball to just balls.
Talking about taking meat.
Wow.
Thank you. My neighbors, they see every Sunday they cooking up steak or some shit. And yeah, I wonder if that was as tough as how Dwight took it. Good. But but for real, like I Googled and I just typed in basketball, thinking because I was thinking how Magic Johnson talk type, and the funniest shit was the first thing that came up was Michigan State basketball. So the irony of it connecting right to Magic Johnson and basketball, I would be talking and stuff. It was a stupid funny for me, man. But good show. Shout outs to the
Yo,
brother who
real quick. Tyrone, you want to talk about the fight last night? What you felt about it, or
I was kind of disgusted because I mean it didn't look to me like Tyson Fury even. I felt Tyson Fury disrespected this guy because it didn't look like he trained. It didn't look like I think he overlooked him. It felt like to me during that fight, and I really think it was a real big gag mission, bro. If you watch it, I'm telling you, man, he was putting something on Fury. He had him very confused a lot. He was hitting him from different angles. He knocked him down once, like he pushed the fight. He backed Fury up, and he did everything that a boxer does to win the fight. And he lost a split decision, and it was real close. They didn't say Fury blew him out, but I'm like, if it's that close, man, you give it to the guy that put the work in, and now Ngannou was the guy who put the work in, and that's how I feel.
yeah. See, Nagano would have had to knock him out. Like he would have to lose that 10 count for him to, because a heavyweight champion fighting someone who's 0-0, that shit only happens in Rocky. So
still a
there was
not a boxer, but one of the greatest professional fighters ever. Stepping into an arena that's where he very well has the power to knock out anybody. Let's keep it real. But when boxing skill set is different, it's totally different.
But that's my point and my problem. That was my problem with the fight. Ngannou was boxing him. He was outboxing Fury. That's my point. He was outboxing Fury. He was hitting him with angles. He was doing the boxing stuff that you do as a boxer, the training, watching him, ducking, hitting him with angles, getting to his spots, pushing him back, forcing the action. He did everything like a boxer. Like if I didn't know better, I would think that he was the boxer and Fury was the guy who just got in there. That's how it looked. So for it to look that lopsided and to have it be a Fury victory, it's just I just didn't. It don't sit right with me. It just didn't, man. It just
See,
didn't.
they,
I'm
they,
gonna go
they
look.
need to introduce AI to boxing, man. That need to be the first sport or one of the first sports. Take that shit out the judges' hands.
But then AI is going to get messed up too, because the thing is this: when people started saying stuff about it, they went to the CompuBox, and based on the CompuBox numbers, Fury won the fight. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like, damn, because I didn't even peep that when they put the CompuBox numbers up there. I was like, oh well, maybe I'm wrong, because CompuBox is saying that Fury was tearing them up. But watching it, I didn't see none of that. I don't even
Well,
know
you
where
have
the CompuBox came from.
well have different cameras look for different things.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing I can think of. For
We had that
because
conversation. I agree. Oh, I
Mhm.
think boxing, if AI had to come into one thing, but it's just how do you pull it off successfully? Like Tyrone
Yeah.
mentioned, he just said it again, CompuBox or whatever. CompuBox is somebody that's inputting all this information, that's calculating
Mm.
all. You know,
So it's still not a computer. You know,
right. It's a computer.
registering a landed punch every time.
Right,
Okay.
right.
I don't know, man. I don't think we're that far away from it. To be honest with you.
But I gotta go find the fight. If I find the link, I'll send it along. I find the
Yeah, I'm
paid
gonna look
link.
forward to it.
I find the
It's
paid
good.
link. I'll send it along.
It's
Yeah,
really good. It's a really good fight if you can watch it. It was really good.
I'm gonna look for it.
Cool, cool. But with all that being said, this was a dope show. Thanks to the brother Ori from Hoop Social coming through. Again, I wish we could have spent a little. I didn't give him no heads up of length of time on the show, because you know how some people some people assume pods just get it in an hour. Now you know we go more than an hour. He didn't know, but I didn't give no heads up, so that's my bad. But next
Yeah.
time we'll get a little deeper into the season and we'll bring him back on. I guess, but like I said to him, he wants to come back on next week, he's welcome. Just like everybody else, whoever watches, listens, and all of that stuff. But next week, I said that knowing next week it ain't happening, because we had J1 Con, 3rd to the 5th is finally here. We get to finally have a good time. I would turn the camera and say what's up to my sister, but no, she ain't no. but yeah, man. We plan on having a good time. We plan on looking like how Tyrone was looking frozen just a second ago, with our eyes like, trust me. Everybody bring, you know, everybody bring something. We're gonna have a great time. Shouts out to the UWO, Brian. Hopefully Kyle does make a special guest appearance. Shout outs to Shayna Hill, Decent, Haven. I gotta hit everybody up because they haven't been responding to the emails, but I need to hit everybody up. Sunday, the panel goes down at 11 o'clock, right before the cosplay wrestling conversation. Before wrestling, it's like Saturday mornings back in the day all over again, with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan on TV doing the talk show before the morning show and all that stuff. But like Tyrone said, I'm glad we're getting over with it, because the conversation on a larger platform is necessary. You know, whether people want to be there to be, I'm sure there's going to be a people at the con who consider themselves a part of the Wrestle Talk community, but nonetheless, we're going to make sure I'm going to work out and tweak some things this week, probably tomorrow, because I'm off, to make sure that we can go live through my TikTok on the computer, bringing out the camera and all that stuff. And yeah, we're going to make it work. We're going to have a great time. We'll see y'all next week at J1 Con. Tyrone.
Yep, that's where I'm at with it. I'm just waiting for J1 Con. Like I said, I'm excited. I think it's something that we need to do, regardless of just to get the message out there. I had a good show today. I wish sometimes, man, we got to reel it back in. I wanted to talk more about this season of basketball, and we didn't get a chance to, because we just. But I mean, it's still cool. It's fun. We go where we go. J1 Con next week, and then we got the tournament the week after that. So I'm just like, this is starting five is getting really excited, ain't it? I mean,
The big O Invitational.
I still think his bracket, he's trying to get rid of the women. I think it's a little bit
first
chauvinistic.
round, but we're not even gonna go there. We're not even gonna bring that up.
Listen, man.
First round, I seen the setup.
Listen,
That's why
it is better.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It is better than Purple Tape versus fucking the Infamous round 1, man.
But
Hey, again, Big O. That's where you could blame AI, because my copy box finger just pressed random, live for the viewing audience to see.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Listen.
You gotta fix that.
All right. So y'all can clearly. All right. So I'm gonna just put it out there. But since I got the pressure on me, y'all can see all the shows that I did not like, and look what they were matched with, and you were like, okay, well, all right.
See,
all right,
bias,
yeah,
Tyrone. I told you. He couldn't think of this objectively biased, but we're still going to allow him to do this. You got time to tweak.
Yeah, I got time. Oh, I feel so much better now. The pressure was on me, boy. It was so much pressure. I feel liberated. Is this how it feels?
Got the first round done. You got the first attempt done. Now you hit refresh a couple times on that writing.
At the end of the day, though, it don't matter because with all the tournaments, the right thing always wins anyway. For the most part.
With those lineups, he put brother against sister in first rounds. He wanted violence, but he talking about my random shit. But he wants.
Listen, man, I already got my pick in. I already got my pick in for who's gonna win the whole thing.
See,
so
you have to be unbiased. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep throwing that at you. We're putting the pressure is not off.
All right. No, I'm being unbiased. I'm gonna switch it up. All right, so no more iCarly versus Martin, or what was it? iCarly versus Cosby or something like that.
Hey, we didn't tell the people what it was yet, so chill. We're just fucking with you right
now. All right, I'm switching it up. I'm switching it up regardless, though. But nah, man, great show, man. Y'all enjoy myself. Always love talking basketball. You know what I'm saying? Always love talking basketball. Yeah, man. I look forward to seeing y'all next week, man. J1Con, man.
Word up. But yeah, once again, j1con.com, get your tickets, the star5podcast.com or Linktree Star5. Once again, thanks Hoop Social and Ori for coming through. As appreciated in his statements, even though we kind of quote unquote derailed the conversation, it just still showed the level in depth in how far we can talk within the sport and how we were talking about said sports. We ain't stupid. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Sure.